You warriors? Rev 'em up, buddy, gonna shut you down. I took my Cobra down to the track, hitched it on the back of my Cadillac. There were plenty of people waiting for me. There were plenty of vets and XKEs. Let's celebrate the shutdown, everybody. Good start for everyone. Do we have BOE today, Blake? You want to talk about it right away? How I came in, Mike.
That was yesterday, buddy.
Oh,
Hey
okay.
guys.
Well, oh, okay. See, I don't even need to
Day,
know
you're
the
day late and
news.
dollar short, Dale. Day late
Not
and dollar
really.
short.
I told everyone to sell the rip at 27.
I thought we would
So,
have our cameras on today.
you're what?
I thought we would have our cameras on today.
Oh,
Carolers? Oh,
I
that's
like your camera. I like your
oh
that's awesome.
yeah.
The
Man, I love it.
the
I don't
muscles
have
from
it.
Brussels.
Exactly. And I've got my hat as well.
Nice.
That's amazing. I can't turn on I don't have anything Christmassy in my office right now.
We did a Christmas special on the Flow Show.
Oh wait, hold on. I do.
Anyway, the RSI did predict the new low in cable. Talked about this being confirmed. That's why I thought we'd go. I don't think we're done. We could pop, but still think there's 23 in it, which seemed pretty aggressive up here. Anyway, having one of the best weeks of the year today, unless they reopen everything. I guess they could. Maybe they'll reverse it here, but pretty negative action there. Dollar has put in its second drive. I don't think it's done yet. And take it away, Kman. Do we finally have a high in U.S. dollar yen now that they blew me out?
Well, we had some talk from the Japanese currency official saying that they are watching speculation and that the moves are a bit too rapid for them and that they were on pretty high alert. Yeah, have we seen the high? That's a very good question, but it reminds us of what Kuroda was saying, right? He says like 200-300 points a day is too much, and since the FOMC and Bank of Japan, we did about 400 to the top and still about 300 higher than where we were before. So could be a bit rich. They could be on intervention alert into year end if this continues at this speed, at least.
Yeah. Well, RSI will say that you know that this may not be the top because of Mo. He'll have to do some work and distribute. So I don't know. I think we'll test this high out. Markets usually don't peak with an RSI over 80.
No.
So, that's just something there. Maybe the gold is bottoming though here, Kay. What do you think?
Yeah, I'm trying it again. I went out of mine when it broke through that 2630 level, and then seeing where the bottom was. I'm trying a little bit, but it's just a little bit, It's nothing like I wouldn't qualify it as a real position. But it's just a little bit. Just if I may, just one thing on this yen. When you see what we were talking about it yesterday as well, coming out of that Bank of Japan meeting, when we see what the big Japanese investors are or maybe thinking, and I think some of those moves are reflecting what they think, because there's been news again that some Japanese companies would like to buy into more US companies, Canadian companies, and those are people who they still want to put their money to work outside of Japan, and that's going to be one of the problems. Because if you look at the data, there is every reason for them to continue to hike, but they being cautious may put some Japanese money still outside of Japan to work, and that's a bit of a risk that Japan is taking now.
Okay. All right. So that pretty much covers what's going on in yen. How about Loonie, which has really been the star again, just like the yen. It's a confirmed high. But we could get some type of ABC, right? ABC and then
Mm.
go again. Um, I'm not ready to declare the top in the dollar. Still thought 109 was possible. We didn't get there. So maybe it's next week. Could be soon.
Yeah, okay,
The risk could use a weaker dollar, don't you think?
well, you've got risk for one thing, but then now, and we repeatedly say so, and we are in end of year territory. And if you look at what there you go, this one S&P has done, it has completely messed up the picture. And
Yeah,
where,
I think it's messed up a lot of people's Christmas and all the guys that were adding on to have performance into the end of the year.
well,
I
that
may
for
have to
one,
puke.
That's
Puke.
for one, but it also messes up the FX flows for year end, because all
Okay.
those currency neutral funds,
Yeah.
they were planning on doing things based on the moves that we've seen this month, this year, this quarter on the US equities. But if you dump like 5%, I mean those flows get completely thrown around.
But I thought the market was going to be okay until the end of the year.
It
That's what
is
everyone told me for, I don't know, all
it's still
month.
it is still okay if you look at it in global terms, but yeah, I mean the Fed gave them a pretty big wake-up call there.
Yeah, I think maybe Adam was right. He said the selling really intensified over the rumors of the shutdown when I was interviewing him yesterday. And then I guess they have they have what, I don't know, 12 hours or something to do something.
Oh, we're
But
gonna shut down. We're gonna shut down. I don't think there's
okay,
any I think
that's fine with
I
me.
doubt they're gonna find a stopgap in time. And the thing
I
is,
tell you, that doesn't balance the budget because shutdowns cost billions. Okay.
yeah, but that's not I don't think that's the big point here, Dale.
I'm Dale.
I know, sorry, it's
That's all
Friday
right.
and I'm
Yeah.
tired, you know.
All right.
Hey, you're like my kids. Sometimes I call my kids the wrong name. Which I do. It's not a joke.
Sometimes I
Um,
call my wife the wrong name. That's a problem.
that
That
is a problem,
is.
especially if you're screaming that in bed, Stelios. That's another thing.
Oh, wow.
So what I think though is if you look and like here's like a Reuters headline, and this is something that is a big deal. Dozens of Republicans vote against
Yeah.
bill that Trump called for, and I think that's the bigger takeaway. Look,
Yeah.
we're going to find a stopgap. It's probably, and it's going to be a while before it really starts to affect the markets, because the markets just don't like prolonged shutdowns. We've gone through shutdowns before, and as long as
Yeah.
if we go into the beginning of the year and the government's still shut down, that is going to be a problem, and that's going to be probably pretty good risk off. But we'll probably find some sort of funding bill,
Uh,
Yeah.
stopgap for the
You
next
know,
quarter
uh,
until the new administration comes in. But just the fact that there are so many Republicans that are like, nope, we're not doing that. That is going to be Trump's big issue for the next 4 years. He's going to have a lot of Republicans that are just like they're conservative. They're not they're older. They don't care. Like they're gonna vote against a lot of his initiatives, and I think that's going to be the bigger problem that the markets are going to have. Not only the Trump administration, but everybody's coming into this next 4 years with these huge expectations, and I don't know, just that alone, just you can see, people are like, no, I don't know about that. So
I just
anyway.
want to just give a lesson that, and this is what Steve Volge talks about all the time. So you see, I was looking for this breakdown of this formation. And then I think it was Tuesday, and Blake said, "Yeah, it's already reversing, Blake." And so we negated it, so it was a false breakdown. But you notice this is a 4-hour chart, okay? So if I go to a daily, and that's why Steve says what's happening at the beginning of the day is still a long day, and you have to wait for the close. It never closed above the neckline. So really never had a false breakdowns. Called about three lower here. But anyway, just a lesson that, you know, you get bumped out of these trades intraday, but the important thing is how it closes. That's the vote that people go home with their wallets. Okay.
Yeah.
That's it, man. So holiday season, it's going to be a blue Christmas. Um,
I have a
without
feeling you might be singing that here shortly.
I thought I'd wait till next week, but you know, are we closing down? Were we working Monday next week?
You know what, Dale? You
Then
can do whatever you want to do. I'm gonna be here.
wow,
Kman's gonna be here for the
all
face
right,
show. You know, and if you want to be around, you be around.
okay,
Totally up to you. Hey,
but what? Go ahead,
no,
take
I
the
was gonna
charge
say
too.
it's, you know, I know it's the holidays. I know we're gonna be here on Monday, and I wait. Were you asking about Monday or next Monday?
Yeah,
I was thinking
uh,
for some reason I was thinking the 31st.
well,
Um,
yeah. So Tuesday I saw we're not open. That's Christmas Eve. Then
no,
Wednesday is
no.
no. Okay, what's the
No,
schedule?
Christmas Eve is going to be, I mean, it's Christmas Eve, guys, you know. I mean, it's the market's going to be slow. I mean, we'll be around. You catch us in the chat rooms, but we'll be broadcasting on Monday, and then after the holidays, after the Christmas holidays, it'll be the first the 30th and the 31st. You know, it's, even though those will be end of flow um uh days and end of year flows, and we're probably going to see some pretty big moves there. Kman, what do you say?
Yeah, they are going to be erratic because, as I said just earlier, those equity moves have thrown things around. This and we've been talking about it on the flow show as well. There's a heap of FX options expiries today, and I've got two thoughts about it. So first of all, I guess that a fair part of it is probably people who have put on options post the whole central bank block, and so they most of it is expiring today. From next week, liquidity is going to be at a premium. So I guess a lot of those people wanted to have a play and then see what comes out of the box. But also, I'm thinking that a lot of the hedgers have been putting on those big options just as a safety net post those central banks for what they have to do for year end. So in a way, we could say that this is an exceptional day for option expiries, but it could also have a smoothing effect because most of the FX options, perhaps compare it to options in equities also. I don't know exactly. I don't know too much about the equities options markets, but in effects it could have like a smoothing effect, and then because they have been hedged for the biggest part of it. So I think we have to. We could just be stuck in a bit of a range here.
You know, I got a question, Kman. So when you're,
Right.
and I circled the options board. If you guys don't, there's, you can get options prices at different places. This is the best here, and the reason why is because Ryan, every day he spends a very large amount of time writing down all the most important options, exactly what's expiring, and where the big, you know, big expiries that are at, and where the big magnets could take the market. Speaking of which, today euro dollar at 104 was 5.55 billion basically, and here's the euro at 104. So my question to you, Kman, is, if we've reached 104, was it a one-touch option where it hit it, so it hit it before the options expire this morning, or are we going to just try to close as close to it as possible, would you say?
No, I think, but if you look at the whole picture there,
Right.
there's
This,
about, I think Ryan said about 40 or 50 billion or so between 104 and 106.
yeah.
We can't say those one touches. Yeah, they could be in the expiries, but most of the time one touches are um, Yeah, they can a lot of them are expiring worthless, and normally a one touch is expressed in premium and not in amounts. Amounts would be the translation of the premium. So I do not think that one touches are in there, because usually when you do a one touch, it's like um, it's not something where you buy a put at 104 for, let's say, $5 billion or 5 billion euros equivalent. A one touch, you're going to say, like, if it touches, I'm going to get as much money. And that is only going to translate in volume in the books of the, whether it be the seller or the buyer, and they
Yeah.
will hedge around. But normally it's only expressed in P&L. So I don't think that one touches are in there. And
Okay.
we've got another question on the flow show asking whether they're puts or calls, and they would be interesting if you only have one strike in there, one very big strike in there. But since there are all of those strikes, it doesn't really matter because they will have been mostly hedged. So there can be volume coming out of one or the other expiry, but since a lot has been hedged, it's mostly going to be a transfer of a position to the one and the other.
Gotcha. All right. Well, thank you very much. And you notice, like for example, the euro sterling, the bigger expiry is at 83 pence, and just over the last few minutes, you can see how sterling just outperformed euro and slammed us right back below 83 pence as we were closing in on this other one. So it's just options are very interesting in the FX market. They do act like magnets a lot of the times, as Kman points out, when there's just one expiry that's a very big amount. But when you have so many surrounding, that was probably a hedge due to earlier this week's FOMC meeting, and which has obviously created a lot of chaos in the markets. Hey, a couple other things I wanted to talk about really quick this morning is Dale, we have quad witching, and Stelius, I know you're here, so don't go anywhere. And why aren't you on camera with your bald
You
head and
don't you
everything?
don't want to see me, right?
Laura does, not me. I'm
Hold on.
begging on behalf of Laura. Um, so Dale, quad witching. How are you seeing it today?
Who's going to want to go home long?
It's ugly, right?
Yeah.
I mean, the S&P. I just
Look at the
here.
weekly.
Well, you guys.
Look at the weekly Nasdaq 100.
Yeah, I mean, they're just ugly, ugly candles. I
That's
mean,
it.
these
No,
are.
the weekly is a key reversal.
Yep.
In July, we had a daily reversal, and it ended up being the weekly candle was unchanged. But look, this compared to that is a much more serious signal.
So, but what? How about quad witching? How's that going to affect the markets today?
I don't know. Just keep a pail of water next to you in case one of the witches is bothering you, and throw the bucket of water on her. She'll melt,
So,
just like Dorothy did.
Stelius, what do you think about
There's
quad witching?
Stelios.
Hello. What do I
He
think?
likes witches. Oh, there they are. Throw
I
water on them.
I actually don't have a view on the quad witching. I really don't know what's gonna be the effect. But I want to say one thing about you talked about the shutdown earlier. Uh,
Yeah.
what do you think the chances are of there being a shutdown and then not finding some kind of solution afterwards? They're going to be raising debt ceilings, blah blah blah. I think the chance is zero. So all these theatrics are just very short term for me. And I think the main risk, and I know I've said it before, and markets are going the other way, but I think the main theme for next year is going to be yields going lower. And I know I am on the I think it's a contrarian view, but man, I think things are going to start getting worse in pretty much most major economies, and I think yields are going to be moving lower, and the market's not prepared for that. The market's very, very short. Sentiment's very bearish.
Well, you know what? People looking for lower yields weren't prepared for this.
Yeah, true, true.
Okay, so we'll see when it happens. Do you think we could test the highs, 5% first?
470 something. What was the high before?
About
It's
5.
475.
like 502. 502
Yeah,
on the 10.
474, then 502. We could, yeah. I mean, these markets are definitely quite volatile and they go quite fast, quite far. But I think if you think that the 2-year yield is now at the same level as the Fed funds, the overnight rate, I really don't see how this can stay that way. So, and I saw an interview by Danielle DiMartino Booth, who I really like, yesterday, and she was talking about quite a few factors that or should bring inflation down. And you have things like shelter inflation, which is dropping fast. You have car inventories rising, margins shrinking on that sector. You have the CEO of Booking.com saying that outside of the luxury sector, the ultra high end, all people are spending less. They're going away for less days, and layoffs announced everywhere. There's a very low hiring rates. Powell actually mentioned that yesterday, that unemployment is doing well, but there is a very low hiring rate. Well, I tell you what, whenever there's a low hiring rate, which means basically if you have a job, you're doing well, but if you're looking for one, it's difficult to get one. So history has shown many times in the past that when the hiring rate is low, that precedes an increase in unemployment. And I think we all know that the Fed is looking at unemployment very, very closely at the moment. So I think that unemployment is going to be rising next year, and yields are going to be dropping as a result. Of course, if we get some kind of risk-off move, which at the moment I don't see that technically. So the S&P has dropped, I've said before, I think 56, 70, 56. Those previous highs from July, 56, 80. If we break through those, then, if we break through those, then technically I think we are starting to get a proper move. Until then, it's still higher highs, higher lows.
Yeah, I mean, look, this is the channel. This is the level you're talking about. This is the 56, 70,
Yes.
56, 80s. I mean, the uptrend is not disrupted just yet.
Yes.
I mean, but below there, I think Dale, you were talking, I think it was maybe with Adam Button yesterday, you were talking about, possible move down to 4,700. I mean, that's where the longer term channel, this is, I'm zooming all the way out to 2018, 2019. You can see, we get below 4,700. Yeah, we're trading down at, or excuse me, 5,700, as you pointed out, Stelios. Then we're trading down at 4,700. And that's where things
the
get
breakout,
real,
4,800.
Yeah, that's right there. I mean, that's where things get really real. But we're talking longer term, and we're sure as hell very far away from there. Because if you think, you just think about this from a,
I think we could be there by inauguration.
Well, let's talk about like that's a 16% drop. That would be literally
20.
going into bear market territory from the highs. Yeah.
Yeah, 20%.
But no, it's from current levels, like another 16%.
Oh, yeah,
from current levels.
That's right.
Yeah, that would be a hell of a move, And I'm going to speak to Trump's ego here, and as you guys know, the only thing he cares about, I mean, you can probably lump a bunch of stuff in there, but for him, like it's stock market performance. That's how that's his scorecard, and himself. So
that's why 4,900 is going to be a great buying opportunity. If you notice, almost everything's under pressure. So what you do now is you set up your shopping list. Maybe you want to buy the miners; they've gotten killed. A lot of things, there'll be great buying opportunities at 4,900, because then I think we're going to actually go to new highs. 7,200, I think, is possible after 49.
Well, let's see
Trump
if we can
get on it, and so will Powell. So Powell will do all the things while the economy's failing. We could get one more hurrah spec rally out of the market.
All right. Well, it's baby steps, baby steps, baby steps. So
I don't know, what are those?
Yeah. So
take a leap.
Stelios, I know you were talking, and I'm sorry I'm on the wrong side of this with you. I've got this big head and shoulder pattern playing out in the silver, but I know you're pretty bullish here. But this pattern actually does point to $26.
26.
So
yeah.
Well,
would that be beautiful?
Yeah, I mean, that's where this, I've got a pattern in play going. I mean, it actually goes a little further than that, $25. But
that would be a gift.
What's your stance on silver and why you bullish here?
Well, you know me, I took off all my positions apart from my core long, which is from 2310, and I'm not touching that. A while ago, it was around 31.5 to 32. I can't remember the exact level. But now I'm starting to accumulate again because I think that in the medium term, and that's the way I trade it, you know me, I take positions and I keep them for weeks, months, have very low leverage, but I try to catch the big moves. So I've started accumulating slowly, and I'm going to accumulate all the way down to 26.5 or 26.7, wherever that level is. Let me check it
Why is
quickly.
your room so blurry? Do you live in a blurry
So, so
It's
I
very
believe
hot.
that the
Very hot in Greece. It's the warm, the heat.
What? It's a
That makes
humidity in
it.
there? Or, steaming?
no joke. I had the aircon on in the car today, so no
All
joke.
right.
Yeah.
So
But it's
I've started to accumulate, and I'm accumulating platinum as well. I got some at 920, and I have levels below, and it's
I
not that
like
I'm bullish.
that.
Sorry.
I like that. And the real smart guy I know who follows me, he's going with platinum too. It's a 3 drive down there.
Yeah,
Platinum.
and platinum has also a macro element to it, which is that it's had it's been beaten down massively over the past few years because the main use is in cars, in catalysts, and well, apparently we're all going to be driving electric cars, which we're not. So I think that there's going to be internal combustion engines for a great deal longer, bigger percentage of the market than people think. So I like that in many ways. But as I've said before, I am accumulating slowly, and my style of trading has very low leverage, and I don't mind being offside for a bit, and even substantially offside because I know my levels, I know my targets, and being having no leverage or very little leverage doesn't put me under pressure. But
Right. And you're stubborn. Don't forget to add that.
I'm very stubborn, so my wife tells me, and I have to also
and don't
mention.
and don't
Go.
forget and don't forget the Greek, what they mean by medium term. Medium term is 10 years in Greece, and long term
Yeah,
is 30. So
Hey
true.
guys,
it's not
guys,
like
while we're
our
while
medium
while
term.
while we're while
Our
we're you guys are joking around, we do have PCE,
PCE,
even
yeah.
though
Oh boy.
yeah, we
Powell
got
told
PCE
us,
coming out now. Kman, didn't we get a little heads up from Jay Powell what the
of
PCE
course,
is going to
yeah,
be?
he told us what it should be: 2.5 on the normal one, and 2.8 on the
He's a
core.
mean man.
So
Jay
let's
Powell. He's
see
mean.
if he's giving us the right numbers. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
let's
mean.
let's take a look. We got the dollar over here to the left. It is a 15-minute chart. We have yields in the middle, and then the S&P right. Looks like we're going to try to develop a little inverted head and shoulder pattern
Yeah, it's gonna
in the
rally.
S&P. But we have Canadian retail sales too, and then here's the PCE. So we're expected 2.5 year over year. What are we expecting
2.9.
for what's that?
0.9
Oh,
on
yeah,
the core.
2.8, 2.9.
2.8, 2.9. Okay. So we'll see if that did give us a little hotter number here. Sorry, I didn't mean to squash your platinum conversation, Stelios. It's just we
No,
have
it's all
this
right. It's
data.
all right.
No, you got it out there.
Okay. All
But
right.
but
And then
it actually impressed me how Powell is basically um, fighting Trump, right? Because he's hawkish. We know Trump wants a weak dollar. He talked about the cryptos not in a nice way. We know Trump is a big supporter, so he's picking a fight, isn't he, Jay Powell?
Mm,
Yeah,
well, I wouldn't say he fought on cryptos. He said the Fed doesn't have is not allowed to
it
have
came out 2.9.
Oh, really?
huh?
Oh, that's a forecast. Sorry.
No, that's a forecast, man. There's still
All
one
right.
minute to go. No, I said Powell didn't say that he. Well, I mean, we know their stance, but he just said that they were not allowed to have any cryptos
Mm.
in the reserves. I suppose that Musk will come up with an idea to warehouse it at the treasury at some stage. A bit of crypto,
Yeah.
just create a new Doge thing,
Dogecoin too. By the way, Ethereum is in a bear market, right? It's 24% below its highs, which is crazy because it only took 4 sessions. I think these daily and weekly 10, 20%
looks
moves
scary.
can put the store of value argument to rest, in my opinion.
Everybody thought I was joking about the fart coin. Fart coin's a thing.
It's $1 billion market cap now, isn't it?
It's crazy.
Crazy. What does it do? What's the use of Fartcoin? Nothing, right?
I have no idea, Stel.
Okay.
It's just
Okay.
a pump thing. All
Two
right,
seconds. Let's see.
here we go.
And drum roll. Canadian data is weak,
Canadian
marginally.
data this week.
Marginally.
2.4.
2.8 and 2.4. So that's
Wow.
0.1 worse than expected.
Wow. So dollar should get a little
Wow.
whack
I
here.
mean, 2.8 is what the number was last
Yep.
time. 2.4 is like 0.1 below Powell's announcement, but it's still 0.1 above the prior one. Personal income perhaps, well, 0.1 below.
Yeah.
Yeah, it says dollar's getting a little hit here as it should. Under a little bit of pressure. Yeah, I mean, the question will be, will the euro be able to take out this 104.20 level that I think it was at yesterday? That's gonna be the question now. So, but yeah, you can see the dollar is under a little bit of pressure at the moment. Sterling is at 125.50. Nice recovery in sterling. Yeah, so what are your thoughts here, Kay?
No, well, really, I mean, we moved 10 pips in the euro. I don't know, man. I mean, to me, it's all now about month-end stuff. But I must say, one thing that I've noticed the past couple of sessions is that the euro via the crosses is doing a bit better. So it may be that there is something to just bear in mind, that don't be surprised if we see a bit of euro demand somewhere. But for the rest, yeah. Cable did a bit of a F.A.C.E below 125, so that may be interesting to watch as well.
It did. Yeah. That move below 125. That one's got my attention now. So but yeah, some pretty big moves. Now remember, we do have we have quad witching today, so things are going to be pretty violent. You can see how stocks actually have recovered on that weaker PCE number, because the market was expecting a little bit firmer number. So we have the stock market actually recovering here, and S&P, and I think people are going to look past the shutdown too. So
Yeah, shutdown will be only if it's in length of time, if it's really lasting for a long time. The thing is as well, you could just feel that it's a bit politically driven. Trump would like to put a bit of a mess into the last month of the Biden administration, and then do a bit of a Chuck Norris and save the world.
He doesn't
Well,
want to have to raise the debt limit on his watch because
He wants to abolish it.
Well, at first he wants to just raise it so he could, put in his plans. So I don't think the abolishment is on the table.
No, I don't think so either.
Okay, so but he does want to raise it, and he doesn't want to have to do it. He wants Biden to do it. So anyway, that's what killed the bill.
yeah.
So
well,
that takes time.
Guys, I want to just wish everybody a very, very happy holidays. I've got to get ready for the morning edge, and you don't have an interview today, do you, Dale?
No.
Okay, so I want to wish everybody. Well, I mean, I know there's going to be people that are tuning in on Monday. I'll be here on Monday. I'll be doing the F.A.C.E show. If Dale, you can be here if you want to be here. Anybody else, can be here as well.
I'll probably be here. By the way, Dale, you have a guest on Tuesday, so you might want to cancel that.
Oh, I do. Okay.
That's what I had in my schedule.
Okay.
Jim, if I'm not mistaken. Anyway.
Okay.
All right.
Cool.
Well, then everybody have a great weekend. I'm going to go prepare for the show. Kman, have a wonderful weekend. I know your kids are coming back from in town, so that'll be nice for you.
Yeah, they will be over for basically the whole week. So next week will be a bit of an off time for me, and I'll be back. I'll be with you on the 30th, and if we need to do one on the 31st as well.
Awesome.
I'll be here Monday. I have Mark Chandler.
Oh yeah,
So
Mark
I'll be
Chandler. Oh,
here.
great,
I'll
great.
be here Monday.
Awesome. Awesome. All right. Well, then everybody have a wonderful weekend. Dale, we'll see you on Monday. Kman, we'll see you on Monday. And Stelios, we'll see you on Monday as well.
Cool.
All right. Thanks, everybody.
Yeah, everyone, have a great weekend. And see you Monday if you're, your head's into the markets. We'll be here. And Mark Chandler is going to be a great guy to talk to about year end and his look ahead. So have a great weekend. Don't just count your pips, count your blessings. That includes the people that you work with and your family, your health, of course, and you know that any day that you're staring down at the grass is a good day. And have a great weekend, everyone. See you, team.
Thanks, Coach. Thanks, everybody.
All right, adios, everyone. See you guys. All right. I can't get the messages here. All right. Let's erase it. Yeah. All right, everyone. I'll see you.